Day 3 of the first round of the West Indies 4-day championship concluded earlier on this Friday at the Kensington Oval in Barbados. The Leeward Islands Hurricanes have taken control of the game against the defending champions Barbados Pride. Trailing by 152 at the start of play, the Hurricanes ended on 294 for 7 thanks to 112 from Devon Thomas. So far for the Pride, Captain Craig Brathwaite is the pick of the bowlers with 2 for 7. Scores in that match: Hurricanes 172 for 9 and 294 for 7. Barbados Pride 324. Over in Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica Scorpions are facing a defeat to the Red Force at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Fast bowler Marquina Mindley grabbed 5 for 70 as the Scorpions bowled out the Red Force earlier in the day for 273. Yannick Karaya made 76 for the Red Force. TNT then dismissed the Scorpions for 212 with pacer Anderson Phillip bagging 5 for 82. Needing just 81 for victory, the Red Force are now 22 without loss. Scores in that match: Jamaica 141 and 212, TNT 273 and 81 without loss. At the Queen's Park Oval, Windward Islands Volcanoes have a slight lead. Well, 22 without loss, beg your pardon. Windward Islands Volcanoes have a slight lead heading into the final day of their game. At stumps, they were 157 for 7 to lead by 169 runs. Earlier in the day, they dismissed the Guyana Harpy Eagles for 327. Left-hander Vishal Singh falling 7 short of a century. He was out for 93. So the scores in that match: Windward Islands Volcanoes 339 and 157 for 7. The Guyana Harpy Eagles 327. It's good to see 2 5-4s in the Scorpions Red Force game. I want to start, before we go look at that game though, with the two Mindley and
Anderson
Phillip bagging 2 5-4s for opposing teams. Look at Devon Thomas's 112, which is significant for the weight of the runs and the fact that he can find 3 figures so early in this 4-day campaign.
And speaking about Devon Thomas, George, in the first innings he actually got 43, which was already a sign that, you know, he's in form, he's roaring and ready to go. So when I saw, and just the way he was batting, the application and whatnot, I felt as if that when he got dismissed at 43, he could have gone on to make a century even in that innings. But you know what? That was behind him and he didn't allow that to deter him, because in the second innings, you know, again, just application, you know, buckling down, hitting the bad balls for 6 and 4, and of course running properly between the wickets. And I have to say properly, because sometimes I feel like our batsmen take running between the wickets for granted. Devon Thomas, you know, getting that 112 there with ease and making it look easy.
Lance, so Mariah has dealt with Devon Thomas. I want you to talk about Vishal Singh, because we saw a few seasons ago he was, as we'd say in Jamaica, it's not standard English, and we know standard English, but sometimes we feel comfortable delving in the vernacular. He was tried with by the West Indies selectors for a series of 3 games against Pakistan, remember? And it was palpably clear that the level was too high for him Test cricket. Courtney Brown, who was chairman of selectors at that time, said the selectors would, after dropping him, would be keeping him close to ensure that he could get the support to make it at the level, because obviously he had shown them something to warrant selection to the Test team in the first place. It has been a long time since Vishal Singh has re-emerged on the radar, and I'm not saying that 93 puts him back on the radar, but it certainly helps.
Well, certainly regionally his numbers are pretty good. As you mentioned, his opportunity at the international level didn't go very well for him. But regionally he has had numerous strong performances, and his effort today was also supported by Kemo Paul's 73. And they were up against some pretty stiff bowling from the Windward's off-spinner Kenneth Denver with 4 for 36. And the pacer Sherman Lewis, who took 4 wickets as well. But good to see Vishal Singh in his mid-30s, I think now, showing appetite for runs. But nothing strange to see Vishal Singh getting runs at the regional level. Yeah,
and as we talked about the Red Force and the Scorpions and the 2 5-4s for opposing fast bowlers, one of the things I was looking for in this 4-day championship in the opening round is to see whether an opening batsman could have stood up and be counted, because I genuinely think that both opening spots, notwithstanding the fact that the West Indies captain holds one of the opening spots, I think the two opening spots in Test cricket for West Indies are there for grabs. And I just wanted to see from the early point of the 4-day championship, from round one, an opening batsman step forward to claim one of those available places with a century, with a big knock. It hasn't happened. Well, the opening round. So yeah. So, but you know,
you can allow them in the second round.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that I think that more than any other position in the West Indies Test team, because if we have solidity at the top, it makes so much difference all the way down. And I'm underwhelmed by the opening batsmen so far, but I remain primed and ripe for being overwhelmed later on in the competition. I think there are two places there up for grabs.
Yeah, and just to touch on what you said, George, yes. Having two solid openers obviously eases the pressure for the rest of the batsmen to come. And what we've seen from the Windies team over and over as of recent is that the tail end of the Windies batting order has to come up and do the job of the openers. On that point, Isaiah Raja got 65. And remember, I said on the show that Isaiah Raja is somebody I went to school with. And I remember looking at him actually opening for school. And I know school cricket is a totally different standard. So I just have to say that he's also an opener that, you know, we can pay attention to, because in his innings he was able to get 65 runs. And is somebody to watch for that same opening spot that you're talking about, because he is a great opening batsman.
Yeah, there was a view of trying to push Joshua De Silva into an opening position because of his batting temperament. And if Shane Dorich is ready for international cricket again, as he has probably shown with an 80-odd yesterday, Shamar Springer got 91 as well for the Barbadians, a solid all-rounder who was part of the Under-19 World Cup winning team in 2016. But if the selectors so desire, De Silva could be considered for an opening spot if it is that they are thinking of getting Dorich back into the game, because Dorich has been for a long time the best wicketkeeper batsman that the West Indies has, and Joshua De Silva has been playing that role. Dorich looks as if he has his appetite back for the game, so let's see what he does in the second round.
Yeah. All right. That's it for the segment. We take a break. Back with more after these.